Hi yogis, welcome back. So for today's Hatha class, we're going to be working on half moon and a few other balancing poses. So for half moon, you'll most likely need a block. If balance is not quite your thing, you can set up next to a wall so that it's there and easily accessible as we move through some standing balancing poses. Otherwise, we're also going to need a strap today. If you don't have a strap, piece of rope, belt, really anything will do for that. So when you're ready, come and join me on your mat in a seated position. So coming to sit either cross-legged or perhaps onto the shins. Bring the hands to the thighs, the knees. Slightly forward onto the sit bones, lifting the chest. Crown of the head is reaching up to the sky. Take a moment and notice how the body is feeling today before we begin our practice. Mental note of how the body is feeling. Just remembering that if you do feel sore, if you have any injuries, take this at your own pace. This is your practice. I'm simply here to guide you from pose to pose. And you can make this your own by modifying your practice, changing out a pose if you have a different preference. But ultimately just listening to your body and moving in a way that feels good throughout these next 60 minutes. Take a moment to observe the breath. Really settle into the space and onto your mat. Come down onto our backs. Keeping the soles of the feet onto the ground as you lay down. So I'm going to start off with warming up the core a bit. The core is integral to our balancing poses, whether that's standing, arm balancing, it doesn't really matter, any kind of balance pose. We need to have that core stability. So let's start warming up. Let's start off by bringing the knees to 90 degrees, like you're sitting in a chair. Reach your arms up to the sky. So low back is firmly rooted into the mat. If it isn't, just wiggle your way into your mat. Now, left leg is going to come down to a hover. Reach the right arm up. Draw the navel down towards the spine. And as you exhale, come back to center. So as you inhale, reach that left leg, reach the right leg and left arm, and bring it back to center. So opposite arm and leg here. Move with your breath. So on the exhale, you come back to center. And on the inhale, you reach. Move at your own pace, nice and slow, with control. You really start to feel the abdominals wake up and warm up. Couple more here. Last one. And then hug the knees into the chest. And then slowly start to bring those feet back down onto the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Reach your arms overhead. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, lift the head and shoulders, reach forward. And slowly lower back down. Now from here, draw the knees back into the chest. And let's take a couple rocks forward and back onto the spine. And roll all the way forward onto the hands and knees into your table. Alright, finding our tabletop position, hands are underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. Take a few cat-cows here, warm up your spine. So as you inhale, drop your belly, tilt the tailbone up. And as you exhale, curl round the back, press the ground away. So move with your breath. Your breath will tell you when it's time to change from your cat to your cow, vice versa. One more round. Beautiful. From here, tuck your toes under. Hands are underneath the shoulders. And lift the knees off the mat into your floating table. Draw the navel up towards the spine. Lift those bottom ribs. Now I really want you to press into those hands so it feels like you're spreading your shoulder blades and puffing up your upper back. And then lower the knees down to the ground. One more time here. Press into those hands. Toes are tucked. Lift the knees off the mat. Look forward. Press, 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 press. Draw the navel up. And lower it down. Alright. Give those wrists a little shake. Short little floating tables, but they are pretty intense. Okay. From here, before we get moving, just making sure that you have your blocks to the top of your mat in case you need them throughout your practice. So, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up to your first downward facing dog of the practice. Walk out your dog. Take whatever movement necessary to get comfortable. So, Feet are hip width apart, fingers are spread wide, and I really want you to root through the underside of your big knuckles. Especially that second finger, that second big knuckle. It wants to lift up most of the time, so actively press it down. Suction cup your hands. And then from there you can press in those hands. Feel the stretch through the shoulders as you lift the hips up. Now bring the gaze to your hands and slowly walk to the top of your mat into a forward fold. If your hands touch the ground, you're going to grab onto opposite elbows. And I want you to swing like a pendulum, nice big half circle, side to side. Give the head a little shake. Shake yes, shake no. Open, close the jaw. Just let everything go and melt away. Release the arms, bend into the knees, and slowly make your way back up to standing. Finding our mountain pose, feet are going to be hip width apart. Roll the shoulders back. Now as you inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward, hinging at your hips. As you inhale, come up halfway. Draw the shoulder blades together. Reach the crown of the head forward, tailbone back. As you exhale, plant your hands, step the left foot back. Bring the left knee down to the mat. Untuck your back toes, reach the arms up into a low lunge. And then bring the hands down to the mat. Tuck your back toes. Find your way back to downward facing dog. And looking at the hands, walk to the top of your mat into a forward fold. As you inhale, come up for that halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And bring the hands to heart center. Reach the arms up, nice big circle, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen the spine. And plant the hands, step the right foot back, and drop the right knee down to the ground. Untuck your back toes, reach the arms up, sink your hips forward. Find a nice bend through that left knee. So that knee is not going past the toes. If it is, scooch that left foot a little bit more forward. And then place the hands back down onto the ground. Tuck your back toes, find your way to downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, reach your left leg up for the sky. And as you exhale, step the foot in between the hands. If it doesn't make it all the way there again, just inch it forward, 90-degree bend. Bring that back foot to a 45-degree angle. Reach the arms up, warrior one. So feet are on opposite train tracks here. You got space for the hips. And that's that you can swivel them forward. So we often say square the hips. You actually want to just gently swivel them forward. No discomfort in the hip flexor. So we're not torquing into it. Those legs are hip width apart, so we got the room to do so. Root down through your back heel, through your tailbone. And then bring the hands down to the mat. Step your right foot forward. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, sink the hips down, chair. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, bring the hands to the sides. Now this time, as you inhale, reach the arms halfway up. As you exhale, bring the palms to heart center. Reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Grab onto your blocks, especially if your hands have a hard time for a halfway lift. If your hands don't quite make it down to the ground, you're definitely going to want to use some blocks here. So medium or the highest setting. Now, I want you to extend your left leg behind you. Supported warrior 3. So we're starting off with the supported version this time. And I want you to look back. Are your toes pointed down towards the ground? So often, we kind of externally rotate that hip. We want to internally rotate it so that those toes point down. Now from there, you're going to lift your thigh bone and your heel. Notice that engagement into the hamstring, into the glute. Beautiful. Bend through your front knee. Bring that back foot to a 45-degree angle. Lift the arms up. Warrior 1. Hands make it down to the mat. Step it back to downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up for the sky. As you exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Back foot comes to a 45. Warrior 1 once again. Arms are actively reaching for the sky here. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees. Sink the hips down into your chair. As you inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the sides. Roll those shoulders down and back. Arms come up halfway. As you exhale, bring the palms into the chest. Reach the hands up for the sky as you inhale. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Lengthen the spine, place the hands onto the blocks. So again, blocks are directly underneath the shoulders. So like you were doing that halfway lift, which we technically are here. So lengthening the spine. And then reach the right leg behind you, toes pointed down. So look back, make sure you can see those toes. And lift the heel, lift the thigh bone, keep turning those toes inwards a little bit. And then bend through the front knee. Bring that back foot to a 45. Arms reach up. Warrior 1. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step it back to downward facing dog. Now looking at the hands, walk to the top of your mat. As you inhale, find that halfway lift. As you exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, sink the hips down, chair. Reach up. And bring the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms halfway up. As you exhale, bring the palms into the heart. Reach up tall. And fold forward. Lengthen the spine. And then plant those hands. You're going to step that left foot back, bring it as far back as I can, and pivot the back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Warrior 2. So, front foot intersects the arch of the back foot. That back foot is actually tucked in a little bit. So my heel is the furthest point out. Toes are a little bit inwards, so I can really grip through the outside edge of my back foot. Have a generous bend through the front knee. Body is directly over top of the hips. Gaze comes over the second and third finger. Flip that right palm over and reach it behind. Continue to bend deeply through the front knee. And then come back to center. Straighten out your front leg. So, for Trikonasana, triangle, you may want to use a block here. It really helps to open up the chest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach those arms up, front leg is straight. I'm going to reach as far forward as I can, and then simply tip my arms vertically into my triangle. Reaching the crown of the head forward, opening the chest. Gather those sit bones and press them slightly forward so it feels like you're taking a back bend here. You're opening that chest so much. And then root down through your feet. And come back up. Let's cartwheel those hands down to the mat. Place the block off to the side. And step that back foot forward. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Find your chair. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to the sides. Reach the arms halfway out. As you exhale, bring the palms into the heart. Reach those arms up to the sky. And swan dive to the mat. Lengthen the spine. And plant the hands, step the right foot back, bring it as far back as you can. And bring it parallel to the straw edge of your mat. Lift the arms up, warrior two. So this is one of our widest stances in yoga. So take it wide. Again, back toes are slightly tucked inwards. Arch of the front foot is in line with either the arch of the back foot, the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot or the back heel. Knee is tracking over the second and third toe. Really important here. We want those knees to last us our whole life. So getting that alignment, pressing the knee out to the left a little bit. And then from here, flip that left palm over, reach behind you. Right hand slides down that right leg. Or maybe if you have a really deep bind here, or deep, you're going to find it bind if you have a deep lunge. So you're going to reach that right arm back, reaching for the inside of your left hip crease. And then come back to center. Straighten out your front leg. If you're using a block for your triangle, placing it to the outside of the shin. Reach forward. When you can't go any further, tip the arms vertically. Again, open the chest here. So we're not focusing on how low we can go. We're focusing on finding length in the spine, opening through the chest and through the hamstrings. So press those hips forward, lean back. Crown of the head is reaching forward, not down. And then press into your feet and come back up to center. Cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. Place your block off to the side. Step your right foot forward. As you inhale, find length in the spine. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Reach the arms up, chair. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, arms to the sides. Now reach the arms halfway up. Bring the palms into the heart. Reach up. And fold forward. Lengthen the spine. And And then plant the hands. Let's find our downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, reach your left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, step the foot in between the hands. This round we're going to keep that back heel lifted. So engage through the core. Reach the arms up into that high lunge. Lean the body forward. Shifting the weight into that front foot. So we're going to take flight into Warrior 3. If you want supported Warrior 3, you can bring those blocks to the top of the mat. Hands forward or to the side like a little airplane. Press up. So point those toes down towards the ground. Lift the heel. Lift the thigh bone. And then bend through the front knee. Nice and slow. Bring those toes back down to the ground. Great job. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step your right foot forward. Flat back, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Let's take a little chair. We're not staying too long in these today, because let's be honest, who really likes chairs? Okay, inhale, rise up. And exhale. Bring the hands to the sides. As you inhale, reach those arms halfway up. Exhale, swing those hands, palms come to the heart. Reach up tall. And fold. Lengthen the spine, shifting the weight into your toes. Plant your hands, find your way to downward facing dog. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to reach your left leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, step the foot in between the hands. 90-degree bend through the front knee, back heel is lifted, feet are hip width apart. Reach the arms up, core is strong. It's engaged, it's ready to take flight. So you're going to lean forward, draw the navel in towards the spine, lift those bottom ribs. And when you're ready, press up, Warrior 3. Toes pointed down, lift the heel and the thigh bone. You're going to feel that into your glutes. Again, arms can be to the sides here, like an airplane. This is going to help with your balance if you're new to this pose. One more breath, you got this. And bend through the front knee. Bring the toes back down to the ground. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Find a little chair. Again, just briefly here. And reach the arms up. And bring the hands to the sides. Alright, let's find a little bit of standing balancing poses here. We're going to find tree pose today. It's one of my favorites. I love doing this almost every single day. Let's start off by rooting through the right foot. So you're going to spread your toes, if you can. Give it a go. And shift your weight into that right foot. From here, bring that left knee, open it towards the left. Now, if you're still working on your balance or it's a bit of an issue, keep your toes on the ground. Just bring your heel in. You can also use a wall for extra balance. Now, if you're working on that balance and you're ready to get those toes off the ground, you're going to place the foot to the calf muscle. And then, additionally, if you want to go a little bit higher, you can bring the foot all the way up to the inner thigh so that it's all the way up, almost to the perineum. Now, keep the hips open here. Hands come to heart center. Find a spot in the room that's not moving. This is your drishti. And once you find that balance, open up the arms. Spread the fingers wide. Press into that bottom foot. So you reach up a little bit taller, growing through the sides of the waist. Like a plant or a tree, reaching up for that sunshine. And then slowly bring the hands back to heart center. Bring the knee forward, extend the leg, and give it a little shake. I know if I was a tree, I'd be a really tall tree. I love the sun. So I was pretending that I'm reaching up for that sun. So I'm reaching my fingertips up. Let's firmly root into the left foot. Now bring the right knee out to the right. Hips are open. Decide where you want to place your foot today. So maybe keeping the toes onto the ground. Maybe placing it into the calf or all the way up into the thigh. So we don't want to be on the knee joint here. Pressing into the knee sideways, that's a no-go. So, if you want, find out where you want to put it. And then bring the hands to heart center. So again, find that point of focus. And when you're ready, open those arms. Spread the fingers wide. Little branches, leaves. Grow tall. Press through that bottom foot. Soak up the sun. If you wiggle a little bit, that's just the wind. That's a breeze. It's all good. And then bring the hands to heart center. Bring the knee forward. Extend the leg out. And bring it down. Give it a shake. Alright, let's find our way back to the top of our mats. Making sure that we have those blocks handy. We're going to be finding our half moon next. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest. As you inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the left foot back. I'm going to do it here so you guys can see me. And then bring that back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Lift the arms up. Warrior two. Now, straighten the front leg. Toe heel your back foot in. So, if you remember triangle, we're pretty much keeping that same shape. That openness through the chest and through the hips. So, toe heel that back foot in, shorten up your stance. Your block is going to be the length of your torso in front of your toes. So, common mistake is that block is way too close to the foot. So for me, it's about a block and a half length. So, yeah, about there, actually. So, I'm going to bend through my right knee. I'm going to bring my right hand onto the block. My block is in line with the right foot, with that right pinky toe. And then slowly, you're going to lift the back foot and then stack the hips. So take your time here if you're new to this pose. So lift, stack, lift, stack. So keep going until you can open the chest to the left wall and lift the back leg so you're squeezing into that oblique. And if you want a little bit icing on your cake, you're going to reach that top left arm up. And then nice and slow, bend through the front knee. Bring the left foot back. Warrior two. Flip the right palm over, reach it behind, exalted warrior. And then come back to center once more. Cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. We'll step that left foot forward. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold. Plant your hands. This time, right foot reaches back. Pivot the back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Lift the arms up. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. So you're going to toe heel that back foot in. And again, make sure that block is in line with your pinky toe, with that front foot, and the length of your torso. So for me, about 1.5 feet away. If you're taller than me, you're going to have it even further. If you're shorter, maybe a little bit shorter. So when I'm bending through my front knee, I'm going to bring that left hand onto the block, stack shoulder over top of the wrist and the block, and slowly lift the back leg. So lift and stack, lift and stack. Take your time here. Open your chest. Lift the leg, and then when you're ready, reach the arm up. Soft breath. And then softly bend through the front knee. Bring the right toes down. Warrior two. Flip that left palm over, reach it behind. And come back to center. Cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. Step your right foot forward. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend into those knees. Little chair. Reach the arms up. And bring the hands to the sides. Roll the shoulders back. I want you to close your eyes. Notice how the body sways from side to side. It sways around this middle point. So we feel all four corners of the feet, all four sides of the body. And little by little, maybe that swaying so big, it's just a little sway from side to side, front to back. The body starts to find balance. Let's do this one more time into Warrior 3 and our half moon today, so it gives you a second opportunity to give it a go. Okay, reach your arms up for the sky. As you exhale, fold forward. Lengthen the spine. And then plant your hands, step it back to downward facing dog. Take a moment here in your downward facing dog. And as you inhale, reach the left leg up for the sky. And as you exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Back heel's going to stay lifted. Reach the arms up into a high lunge. Then bring the arms forward, reach, draw the navel up. Press up, Warrior 3. Then bend through the front knee, bring those toes back down to the ground. Pivot the back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Open it up, Warrior 2. Back toes slightly tucked in. Flip your left palm over, reach it behind, Exalted Warrior. And come back to center once more. Toe heel your back foot in, shortening up your stance. Blocks about a torso length in front of you. We're going to shift the weight into that left foot, bringing the hand onto a block, or maybe no block today if you've been working on your half moon and you've been working on it for a while. So slowly lift that back leg, maybe lift the arm, coming off the block if you'd like. Open the chest. And then slowly bend through the front knee with control. Warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands to the top of your mat. Step your right foot forward. Flat back, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Sink those hips down, chair. Reach the arms up. And bring the hands to the sides. Last time. Roll those shoulders back, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your spine. Plant the hands, downward facing dog. This time, right leg is going to reach for the sky. And as you exhale, step the foot in between the hands. 90-degree bend. Reach the arms up. High lunge. Lean the body forward. Take flight. Warrior 3. Hands to the sides. Forward, or maybe hands to heart center. Lift the heel and the thigh bone. Turn that leg inwards a little bit so we're squaring up those hips. And bend through the front knee. Slowly bring the left toes down to the ground. Full breath in. Exhale, open it up. Warrior 2. Flip the right palm over, reach it behind, exalted warrior. And come back to center. Toe heel that back foot in, shorten up your stance. Last kick at the can here. Half moon on the right side. Bend through the front knee. Place the right hand onto that block if you're using a block today. Open up the hips. Open the chest. Point the toes towards the left wall. Last breath here. And then nice and slow, bend through the front knee with control. Come back to warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat and find your way back to downward facing dog. Walk out those legs. Pressing those heels down towards the ground. Give them a little stretch. Ah, great job. Drop down to the knees. Swing the legs around. Those balancing poses are not easy, but with practice, they do become a little bit easier as you continue to put them in your daily or your weekly practice. So, let's straighten out those legs. Bring those in front of us, toes pointed up towards the sky. Sitting up nice and tall, reach the arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, fold forward. If this is towards the end of your day, you can round the back, tuck the chin in. This is going to tell the body it's ready to get time for sleep. If it's still early in your day, I want you to keep the spine fairly straight. You're reaching the chest forward. Gaze stays forward. Telling the body, not quite time to rest yet for the day. Still got a bit to go. Keep that energy up. And slowly walk the hands back towards the body. Let's take those legs as wide as is comfortable. A little bit so we're rolling onto the front of the sit bone. If you find you have a really hard time with any of these forward folds, you can sit onto a block. For this pose, I like to bring my block to the inside of my thighs. So this gives me the opportunity to leverage my elbows and press them into the blocks. Toes are pointed up towards the sky, back the legs flat. So I want you to walk those hands as far forward as you can. And if you're using blocks, press the elbows into the thighs. Remember, don't put it onto the knees. Do not want to press sideways into those knees. Actually, press anywhere into them. It's never good. back towards the body. If you've used blocks, place them off to the side. Grab onto the inside of your knees and just gently pull the legs in, bring the soles of the feet together. Scooch forward. Keep the hands to the sides of the body. You can press those hands, lengthen the waist. And use the strength into your hip flexors, into those adductors, and your glutes to press the knees down. Give a little stretch and then a little strengthening. And release. Bring the hands to the outside of the knees. Bring them together. Okay, let's grab onto that strap. Make sure there's enough room behind you to roll down. Let's reach those fingertips forward and slowly make it down onto our backs. Oh, yeah, that feels really good. All right, grab onto your strap. Place it around the ball of that left foot. So it's not on the arch. That's a delicate tendon here. We want it on that nice fatty cushion. Those are pointed down towards the ground. Keep that strap up. Now, if your hips are tight, feel free to keep this knee bent for this first part. If your hips are fairly open, especially after all those wide-legged poses, you're going to straighten the leg down to the ground. Gently, real gently here, draw the left leg in towards the torso. Elbows are loose, so they're just sitting into the shoulder sockets. Now, if your right leg is bent, so sole of the foot onto the ground, I want you to straighten out your right leg. Now grab onto the strap with only the right hand. Bring your left arm out to the side, palm facing down. And you're going to pull the leg across the body, rolling onto your right hip, trying to keep the shoulder blades onto the mat as much as possible. If they lift or feel uncomfortable, just lift up the shoulder blades and place them back down. Finding that twist, maybe a little stretch into the ITB, so our IT band. You can do this by just pulling up onto the strap a little bit. So if they're tight, you might feel a little sensation through that outer leg. Nice deep breaths here. And slowly bring the leg back to center. Bend into the knee. Let's bring the right foot into the strap. And bring the left foot back down to the mat. Straighten out the right leg. Strap is around the ball of the foot, point the toes down. So again, if your hips are feeling tight, keep that left knee bent. Now from here, if your left leg is bent, I want you to extend it straight down to the ground. Grab onto the strap with only the left hand. Bring the right arm out to the side, palm facing down. Pull the leg across the body, rolling onto your left hip. Again here, if you want to give your IT band a little stretch, just pull up on the strap a bit. Perhaps you'll feel sensation in the outer hip and outer leg. then slowly bring the leg back to center. Bend into the knees. Remove the strap, place it off to the side. And you're going to hug both knees into the chest. And I want you to bring the hands behind the knees. Take the knees wide. Let the heels dangle towards the butt into a modified happy baby. From here, take a little rock from side to side. Massage those upper glutes and hips, as well as the lower back. And draw the knees back into the chest. Place the soles of the feet onto the mat. Extend the legs long. Reach the arms overhead. Now reach the legs, reach with the arms. Keep the belly soft. To doggy mudra means pond pose. So imagine the belly being a pond. It's soft, water-like, and yet we're still reaching through the hands and the arms and reaching through the feet and the legs. Slowly releasing. Bring the arms to the sides of the body. Taking the feet hip width or mat width apart. Letting the toes fall out to the side. Coming into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Close the eyes or keep them light. Reconnect with your breath and your body. Bodies have a few minutes to relax and recharge. bit of movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rock your head from side to side. Reach your arms overhead, point the toes forward. Give yourself a big stretch. Slowly bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the ground. And roll onto your right hand side into a fetal pose. Press into your left hand and slowly make your way up into a seated position. Keep the eyes light or closed. Bring the hands to heart center. Take a moment and thank yourself for making it to the mat today. Coming to your mat, bring balance into your life by taking care of yourself and yourself, balancing that out with work, family, and social obligations. Thank yourself today. I want to thank you for joining me today. It's been so much fun. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste.